Hi there, welcome back to the channel. In today's video I will be unboxing my new Accurascale Class 66 and giving you my thoughts on the model. Thanks for watching, cheers. Just take a look at the size of the box. There's my hand for comparison. Now I hope it's going to be okay because the bloody DPD driver dropped it as he took it out of the van. Okay, so let's get into it. As you can see, I'm not actually in the railway room at the moment. I'm in the kitchen. Well, it looks like it's well packaged. Lots of air around it. A snake of bubbles. Wow. There it is, out of the box. Unfortunately, it wasn't packed that well because the bubbles did not go around the entire model. Let's just put you down for a minute and take the ends off. Okay, I got the ends off. There she is. The lighting's not the best in here. I have been waiting 2 weeks since this was ordered, which I think in today's day and age is ridiculous. Now, when I ordered this, they said it was in stock. But apparently it wasn't in stock. They were showing it in stock, but it wasn't actually in stock because I got an email from them about 7 days after my order was placed saying, your product is now in stock and we are going to be picking and packing it carefully. I thought, well, that's odd because you said it was in stock when I ordered it. And then it took another 7 days for them to actually get it to me, so 14 days in today's day and age is ridiculous. So, sorry Accurascale, you're going to get marked down for that. Customer experience, 3 out of 5. Okay, let's take the outer sleeve off and I'll be back. Outer sleeve off. So the box is a typical Accurascale box. It's got some nice graphic design on it, as this is a Accurascale special edition. This is the Freightliner 66415, You Are Never Alone, in aid of the Samaritans. A little bit of information on the back about the Samaritans. The Samaritans has worked in partnership with the rail sector since 2010 with the aim of reducing the lives lost to suicide and supporting those affected by them. Although through this exclusive 66 model, Accurascale are recognising the work of Samaritans, and proceeds from its sale are being donated to help ensure the invaluable work continues. And there's a little bit of bump about how to contact the Samaritans if you're suffering. And a little bit in there that says Accurascale will donate £10 of the proceeds from sales of this model to the Samaritans. There's that. Other than that, there's not a lot of information on the box. Let's see if we can open it. Okay, so typical Accurascale fashion. you must read the instructions on the reverse of this card before operating your model. So, a little bit of information on the dip switches. And there's another one there. And this one says, Accurascale models contain modern advanced electronics, blah, blah, blah. I'll read that later. Oh, it's a limited edition certificate as well. Number 408 of 700. We'll look at all that later. And then there it is in the ice cube. I'm going to pause the video here and continue with the unboxing up in the railway room. See you there. Okay, here we are in the railway room at the workbench. I'll take it out of its outdoor sleeve. Put that up on the shelf. As always with these Accurascale boxes, sometimes they get a bit of a vacuum inside, which can make them a little bit difficult to open up. So, as I said before, we've got two warning instructions. This one shows the position of the dip switches. So hopefully I won't have to worry about that. And the second one is all about running it on DC, which doesn't really apply to me because I'm a DCC modeler. And we have the usual bag of bump on the Accurascale. More than usual. So we've got the limited edition certificate. Move that out of the way. Limited edition certificate. General Motors Electromotive Diesel Class 66 Freightliner 66415. Number 408 of 700. Nothing on the back. Back in the bag. Two Samaritans cards. Go back in the bag. What's this? This looks like a... These are the operating instructions. Exploded diagram. Body removal guide. And just basically pull the body sides out till the clips undo. I mean, instructions. Who reads instructions these days? I certainly don't. And then we have the DCC function list, because this is a sound fitted model. This one goes up to 19. And, oh no it doesn't, it goes up to function 26. So function 0, lights on off, function 1, engine on off, function 2, brake, function 3, low air horn, function 4, high air horn, function 5, heavy train mode, function 6, light loco mode, function 7, drive hold, function 8, buffering up and coupling, function 9, the two-tone horns, function 10, cab door slam, 11 is flange squeal, 12 is short high tone air horn, 13 is short low tone air horn, 14 the sander, 15 the cab windows, 16 is the clickety clack sound of it going over the rail joints, 17 and 18 only apply to the Evening Star model, 19 fades out the sound, 20 is not in use, 21 cab lights, 22 night headlight, 23 marker lights, 24 tail lights off, 25 is tail lights only, so that's top and tail mode, 26 tail lights on both ends, and 27 through 31 are not in use. So there we go, there's that. A little bit of a history on the class. I'll read that later on. Always nice. That's always a nice touch from Accurascale, that is. I do like the fact that they give you a nice in-depth history of the class. Put all that back in the box. Do that later. Okay, so now for the meat and potatoes. Good sort of semi-soft foam into the usual iceberg. I think they need iceberg packaging. So let's get rid of the box. Slide that out. Another bit of foam to stop it collapsing. Nameplates. Valances with the detail pack already fitted. I must say I'm not even looking forward to that because I'm not the greatest at getting things open. Open up. Nicely wrapped in protective plastic. Yeah. That's a very weighty model. I mean, yeah, that is weighty. I'll get the scales in a minute and I'll measure, I'll weigh it. Careful with it. Oh, wow. Yeah, it's very well detailed. Yeah. Not too much detail underneath where you can't see it. That's nice to see. Zero injuries on there. It all looks to be well printed. All the warning signs are legible. Nothing appears to be loose in the box. Okay. Off to get the scales. Back in a minute. Okay, here we are. Got the scales set to grams. And the Accurascale 66 weighs in at 729 grams. And for comparison, we'll weigh a Bachmann. So 537 grams. That's a significant weight difference between the two. And let's see how they stack up side by side, size-wise. The Accurascale one is slightly longer. Accurascale one measures 284 millimeters buffer to buffer, and the Bachmann one measures 279-ish. So it's about 5 millimeters longer in length. I'm not going to worry about the height. Now, I am not a rivet counter. I don't really care that it's slightly longer. It's a very attractive model. Detail wise, it's got a lot more. There's a lot more detail on it. But you know, at modelling distances, and this is where I may come across as being a little bit out of touch, but at modelling distances, do you really notice all that detail on the bogies or the underframes? I mean, I can see straight away that the Freightliner model, the roof grille is a lot larger. The exhaust is a lot larger. But, I mean, I don't know enough about the class to know if, you know, different variants had changes to them over their lifetime. Like I say, I'm a modeller. I'm not a rear accounter. It looks the part. It's heavy, so it should be able to tow my heaviest trains. And value-wise, you can't knock it. 270 quid for a sound-fitted loco with a decent speaker already in it. I mean, Bachmann would be 260 quid-ish just for the loco on its own, let alone the, you know, the sound chip. And I would go online and see how much the Bachmann ones are going for new, but I'm using my phone to film the video, so I can't do that. I mean, it's a no-brainer. Bachmann or Accurascale. Well, if the Accurascale one works as advertised, then I'd say Accurascale all day long. Yeah, there's nothing wrong with the Bachmann model. I've got several of them and I love them all. But I mean, this is my first Accurascale Class 66. I've got 2 Class 92s from Accurascale, but the only other Class 92s I've got are Lima or Hornby, so there's no comparison. But just looking at them side by side, I would say that you can't go wrong with the Accurascale 66. Or the Hatton 66, which is what it was originally. Now, I didn't buy the Hatton's version because I read online about all the problems people were having with the revolving wheel axles falling out and other issues of details falling off. And well, let's see how it performs. Back in a minute. There it is, on the rolling road. The first thing we'll do is give it some So 60 speed steps, and she's just going, accelerating nice and smoothly without the sound on. As you can see there, the axles are turning. Okay, let's stop it and let's try the sound functions. Okay, engine on. It's not significantly louder than my Bachmann's that I've upgraded the speakers, so it's a little disappointing. We'll go for the low air horn. Now that is much better. That really sounds like a real air horn. Right, air horn. Buffering up and coupling. That's very, very quiet. F9. Cab doors, very, very quiet. Yeah, that sounds good. Now I've got flange squirrel switched on, but I do believe this has got hall sensors on the bogies, so as it's on a straight track you won't hear it, so I might as well turn that off. Okay, let's put it on the track and see how it performs. See you in a bit. So that's its first circuit around the layout. We'll let that run for half an hour in that direction, then we'll reverse direction for another half an hour, run it in, and then I'll give you my thoughts. So, my final thoughts on the model. Yes, it's well worth the money. It represents brilliant value for money, actually. The model itself is well detailed, nicely put together, and initial running in showed no faults. Would it make me want to sell all my Bachmann versions and replace with the Accurascales? No. I don't think it's that far of a leap forward in terms of fidelity that it would actually make me want to replace all my Bachmann ones. I'm not saying there's nothing against the model. I love it. It represents, like I said, great value for money. But if you've already got a large fleet of 66s and you're happy with them, there's no need to replace them unless you particularly want to get a livery that Bachmann don't do and Accurascale do. Sound functions are on another level. So if you've been bitten by the sound bug and you've got to have the latest greatest, well, I would say it's probably cheaper to upgrade your sound chip in your 66s with a decent speaker than it is to buy a whole new model. But again, that's just my opinion. Packaging, well, the outer box was a lot larger than it needed to be, and there was plenty of shock cushioning airbags in there, but unfortunately they were only on one side of the box, so if it had been dropped in the wrong way it may have got damaged. Luckily mine wasn't. There are probably now 100 different reviews on this model. I'm just giving my opinion, it's not really a review. I like it, but like I said, I'm not going to rush out and replace all my Bachmanns, because from the modelling distance that high fidelity is wasted really. You can't see all that extra detail on the bogies. One thing that it does have in its favour is the lighting functions. Now, one of the problems with the Bachmann model has always been the lighting functions were incorrect, and to make them correct you had to invest in replacement light boards and the DCC decoders to enable you to use it. Will I use all the lighting functions? Probably not. I do like the heavy and light loco modes that it's got. In light loco mode it stops very quickly. In heavy loco mode it stops as you would expect it to. It takes a little while. I don't tend to use the drive hold function on any of my models. I think it's a little bit of a gimmick, to be honest with you. Whether or not this is a more accurate representation of the 66 is not for me to say, because I'm not an expert on the locomotive. It looks the part, it performs well, and it's brilliant value for money. So if you're in the market for a new 66, go ahead, order one if there are any left. Beware, there are scalpers out there that are buying them in bulk and then sticking them on eBay, which, although not illegal, I think is immoral. But we live in a capitalist society and that's the way the world works. As you can see, this is the low emission variant. It's got the extra door on the side. So this is the second low emission variant I've now got, the other one being the engine, the Bachmann model. Thanks for watching. Please don't forget to like, comment, share and subscribe. It helps the channel reach other people who might be interested in the content. And I'll see you in the next one. Cheers.